'82, I was 17, my old man was 55. If you do the math between the two of us, that's 72 years of life. An eternity, so it seemed to me. How could anything live that long? Now I say my folks were only 84 the year that they passed on. For a little while it seems you got time to choose your dreams. Pretty soon you look around and you see 100 years ain't what it used to be. And my grandpa Roy, when he was a boy in 1904, he was taught by men who fought in the actual Civil War. And only 8 decades passed and my high school class put the tassels on the other side. Started on our way full of naivete on the great American ride. The months and years slide past, each more quickly than the last. Pretty soon you look around and you'll see 100 years ain't what it used to be. Oh, Johnny!
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, Johnny, hey! Oh, yeah!
He did the guitar face.
Ibuprofen's under buy again in my online shopping cart. Every week I learn of something else I should be doing for my heart. If I use the wrong pillow, I might have trouble getting out of bed. My hair grows in my ears and nose now more than on my head. As a kid, to me, ancient history was something like World War I. But I arrived close to that time and this year as I sing this song. And I'm starting to find I can wrap my mind around life is brief and dear. I can hardly believe my baby girl's turned 26 this year. Oh, a little while it seems you got time to choose your dreams. Pretty soon you look around and you'll see everybody. 100 years ain't what it used to be. Before you know it, you're 63, making plans for Medicare A and B. You look around yourself and you see 100 years ain't what it used to be.
sure am.
Let me turn this TV off.
I'm rolling. Whenever you're ready.
Ready? Josh Arnold Investments brings you Garage Logic Podcast number 1555. June 3rd, 2025. 92 degrees was the record high on this day. That was in 1923. And on the morning of this day in 1945, it was 34 degrees. Call Josh at 952-925-5608 for a free 48-minute consultation.
Hail the flashlight king.
And now, from the mayor's office above the boathouse on the east shore of Spoon Lake, it's Garage Logic with Chris Reavers manning Technology Corner, Kenny Olson from the Krabby Coffee Shop, John Haidt in the newsroom, and of course, the rookie. Here is your flashlight king, fireworks commissioner, and the keeper of common sense, your mayor, Joe Soucheray.
Downing calls this a link. I'm not sure it's a link, but it's a worthy observation. The fellow who threw Molotov cocktails at Jewish celebrants in Boulder, Colorado, said he took a year to plan the attack, and we just learned that Ukraine took more than a year to plan the attack on Russian bombers, destroying quite a few of them. I think what Downing wants us to see there is that I don't know what he wants us to see. This guy took a year in either case. But what he got me thinking about this fellow in Boulder is an Egyptian fellow. He is here illegally. And for a year, apparently, he's been foaming about this and decides to attack this group. How many other people are doing this, I wonder?
Oh.
I think I think the answer is there are other people here planning these attacks. And the only possible response we might have is that you just have to increase your vigilance, whether you're at a mall or one of those movie complexes in the suburbs or...
I often get criticized of my immense amount of paranoia, but I'm sorry. I read the news, not just the headlines.
You got to look around more. You got to really be aware of your surroundings.
Especially with kids. You know,
Situational awareness.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. But, I mean, if you compare situational awareness to humans losing touch with nature, for example, I have no expectations that people are practicing situational awareness. I have none.
Yeah.
I bet you're correct, and I'll bet if you ask the whole population of the U.S., how many you think would actually know about this? You know what I mean?
Not many.
I'll bet 70% would go, I have no idea what you're talking about.
But there are tens of thousands of people in this country illegally. Among them, the odds are that there are evildoers, right? Mm-hmm. Oh, I said the word right. That reminds me.
Wait, does that get the horn?
No.
Oh.
There was a saying, I know, right? You ever heard that one? Which is infuriating enough. But now what people are doing is that they're just saying the word right at the end of virtually every sentence. I can't take it. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't say the word right. What are you trying to? What does the use of that word represent? That you wish to be believed? That that you're stating a fact? Don't say the word right all the time.
I know,
This
right?
This would have been more effective about 10 years ago, Joe.
Yeah.
No, the
little
right
bit
thing
late.
is just catching on.
The horse has left the barn. Oh,
no,
Joe.
No. Again.
I know right has been around a long time. I'm talking about the singular use of the word right.
Let me repeat myself because obviously you have manure in your ears. It's been around for 10 years.
Well,
or
you know
longer.
what? I don't like it.
You know what else, as long as we're going down this path, that I could tell is going to really irritate you since we got you going?
I don't want to be here. I'm not irritated. I'm pointing out a problem.
So
You seem pretty irritated.
when someone agrees with you, so let's just say something that I might agree with you. Just give me a quick sentence.
There's certainly been a lot of shootings lately in
Oh,
Minneapolis.
it's got to be something that it's more casual than that. Just something. Hey, boy, it's really raining out. I'm getting wet out here, right?
Boy, it's raining pretty hard today,
I'm getting pretty wet out here.
and I'm getting pretty wet out here.
Same.
That doesn't bother me.
It doesn't.
No, I'm not familiar with the word "same" being overused.
What about copy? Copy.
You know what? I'll just tell you something right now.
I don't like brevity.
I'll tell you something right now.
Go ahead. We're all listening, Joe. We're on the edge of our seat.
Just don't use the word "right." That's all.
God, you are opening yourself up.
Oh yeah.
You're just throw snowballs at me is what you just said.
Joe Rossini has a great point. The news that state workers are sort of back at in-person work made me think that the food fraudsters ramped up their activities about the same time Department of Education workers started working from home. Coincidence or not. That's a good thought. That may very well have had something to do with it. They brought in temporary workers maybe who rubber stamped the approvals for...
Scab.
No, I guess maybe they just work from home and rubber stamp the approval of all the money.
How fun is it now that they have to go back to work and they might get laid off because there's no budget deal?
And they're going back to work and the unions are complaining about it. We shouldn't have. We weren't consulted.
I was going to bring that up yesterday. How do you feel about a union that's fighting for their employees to not work?
Well, it's worse than that. There shouldn't be public unions because you're arguing with yourself. There is there's no win in a public union. The
Right.
public union has no competition, right?
Right. Right.
We learn more about the stronghold of what is still called the Democratic Party in Minneapolis, the DFL.
Yeah.
Even though it's certainly not. They're destroying their own. There was a piece in the Star Tribune today about Minneapolis City Council. She's the vice president, Aisha Chugati. She's a Mysterian, but she might not be mysterious enough. She failed to win the DFL party's endorsement. That's unheard of.
Yeah. How?
That means she's not Marxist enough.
Not buying the
We
drinking
got to get a
Kool-Aid?
new Marxist. That's the second council incumbent to lose out on the coveted party endorsement. Chugati won more votes than her opponent Lydia Millard, but Saturday's Ward 10 convention ended with no party endorsement, but plenty of ill will, as Chugati said she was assaulted and one of her campaign volunteers was threatened. Now think back to Saturday. It was a gorgeous day.
Yes.
Just an absolutely gorgeous day. And you almost have to tip your hat to these people. They probably packed that Ward 10 meeting hall for the endorsement process. Normal human beings would not have wanted to sacrifice a Saturday to do that, but these aren't normal human beings. Councilmember Katie Cashman also failed to get the endorsement in mid-May, losing to Park Board Commissioner Elizabeth Schaefer. But she's staying in the race. Chugati and Cashman are two of the more progressive council members who often side with critics of the more moderate Mayor Jacob Fry. So is this a ray of hope that they did not get the endorsement because the attendees wish to replace them with more moderate characters, perhaps? That doesn't seem likely to me.
I'd want to know who's around the corner.
In a city controlled by the DFL, the real fight comes down to progressives and super progressives. This is a Dino Winter piece. That's the first time I've seen such a sentiment echoed in the Star Tribune, but that's exactly what it is. It's liberals and crackpots, more liberal. All 13 city council seats and the mayor are on the ballot in November. The DFL endorsement doesn't carry any legal weight, but the party's backing is crucial because most endorsed candidates go on to win. It's that simple in Minneapolis.
Okay.
It's run by these what's still called the DFLer. The DFL also did not endorse a candidate in Ward 2, but incumbent Robin Wansley is a Democratic socialist who didn't seek the endorsement, and her supporters successfully blocked one. So this is the mob that's running their own game here. They're in control of the whole deal, and they'll determine who's going to the city council.
Yeah, they're duking it out.
Chugati won 52% of the delegate vote, short of the 60% needed for an endorsement, while Millard won 47%. The convention was adjourned without an endorsement. Ward 10 includes the neighborhoods of Whittier, Lowry Hill East, East Baday, East Calhoun, and parts of Uptown. On social media, Chugati portrayed the outcome as a win. Okay, she didn't get the endorsement, and she's portraying it as a win.
How do you spin that?
I don't know. She was endorsed 2 years ago after a raucous convention where her opponent's supporters stormed the stage while Chugati was preparing to speak. Police were called, assaults were reported, and several people sought medical attention. I remember that. This year, Chugati alleged on social media that a Millard supporter physically assaulted her and others, and that another told a volunteer they should be shanked. She said both were removed from the convention. So you have people attending who are there on behalf of their favorite Marxist.
Right.
And if another Marxist gets in their way, they threaten to shank them. This is a hell of a city. It's a hell of a city. We again had the opponent willing to use anti-democratic tactics to keep us from getting endorsed. Chugati wrote multiple women and women of color were verbally harassed. Last Monday, Millard said the man involved in the altercation at issue was not a delegate or a supporter and asked Chugati to correct the record. Minneapolis Copper spokesman Trevor Folk said the department has no record of police reports made from the convention on Saturday. At the convention, Chugati talked about helping renters and keeping people from becoming homeless, because there are no homeowners in the ideological world of the mystery. There are only renters. There are only renters. They deserve all political attention, not the evil people who've actually bought a home. Let's face it, we're all just one paycheck, one life crisis, one less Lucky Star away from that reality ourselves. She said, no, we're not. I believe that working people are the backbone of our city. Well, yeah, Chugati, and many working people have a home. Millard said during the convention the city needs to fill empty storefronts. Well, who wants to do business in your Marxist town? And make streets safer, and accused Chugati of neglecting her ward. We have to move from a leader who only shows up when it's re-election time, smiling and shaking hands, only to disappear once the voters are in, said Millard, who is executive director for the Stevens Square Community Organization. I don't know what that is. But I'm sure that if a GLer attended that Ward 10 event Saturday, a much more powerful piece might have arisen from it. I'm sure it's the sixth ring of hell, watching these communists argue with each other, and the hell with them. There's nothing. Minneapolis, you're doomed. The voters in this country have surrendered. They pay no attention to politics. They don't care who gets elected, and they'll only care when they begin to realize they no longer can afford it. Right now, they can afford it. When Chugati runs out of your money and needs more, then perhaps you'll all pay attention. But in the meantime...
But will they?
Well, if they don't have any money, I suppose they're going to have some
They already
reaction.
don't have any money, I guess is my point. The state has no budget. We've already run out of money. And these idiots keep voting for these people. Walz is going to get reelected. We all know this.
They keep voting for him because I think the electorate nationwide has developed a horribly insidious apathy to this. This is our fault.
We played the video yesterday from Alpha News.
Yeah.
He's doing a great job. Okay, tell me what he's done. Well,
No, we have to quit looking for blame. It's our fault. It's my fault. It's your fault. It's anybody's fault who doesn't go out and try to help a candidate. I'm hesitant to help them because sometimes that's the kiss of doom. There's a woman running in Ward 4 in St. Paul who absolutely should win, and I'm absolutely afraid to get on her bandwagon. I'm terrified.
Do we need to do reverse psychology?
Right.
Well,
Do
we do.
not vote for this woman.
Maybe that would do it. I'm not ready to announce her yet, but I will. And even there, I'm taking a great risk of doom because the average Twin Cities resident is not a GLer. They just ain't. You got to get out where Kenny has a cow loose. Then they're GLers. What happened to the bull? Got out.
He's out. He'll be back.
Got out. 61% of Minnesotans oppose free health care for illegals. That's according to the latest Thinking Minnesota poll.
How do you feel about that number, 61%?
I would have preferred it to be higher.
Yeah, much higher.
Well, okay. But of that 39 that are for it, gentlemen, how many of them are, the prematurely gray-haired, whatever, liberal, and how many of them are going to benefit from that were polled in this particular survey?
None.
You don't think so?
No.
All right.
Legislative leaders and Walz agreed just recently to end free health care for adults who are in the country illegally, but the agreement has been derailed by rank and file, what they call DFL, in the House and Senate. It remains a key sticking point to reach an agreement to pass the next state budget. The Democrats are holding out on passing the next state budget unless the taxpayers of Minnesota fund health care for any illegal who happens to be here. Now, I'm all on board for taking care of the children.
Yep.
But you're going to have to come up with something better than free health care. Wouldn't that attract more illegals here? If we go to Minnesota, we get free health care.
Yeah. That's first thing on their list.
I'm sure the poll will be disregarded because it was conducted for the Center of the American Experiment by Meeting Street Insights, a nationally recognized polling operation based in Charleston, South Carolina. Using a mix of cellular and landline phones, the company interviewed 500 registered voters across Minnesota from May 28 to May 31. The margin of error is plus minus 38%. No, 0.38%. I'm not surprised a strong majority of Minnesotans oppose giving free health care to illegal immigrants, said John Hinderaker, president of the Center of the American Experiment. The strong opposition should end the discussion on the topic and move us to one step closer to getting the state budget done. Republicans oppose free health care for illegals 93% to 6%, while independents oppose it 65% to 33%. The overwhelming majority of those who support free health care by illegals identify as Democrats, who support the funding 65% to 31%, and I would suspect don't have a lot of horse in the race. They wouldn't be contributing that much. The full results of the poll will be released in the summer issue of Thinking Minnesota magazine, a Center of the American Experiment publication. All right. Here we go. I needed to put this over here.
Is that where she goes?
Yeah. That was in the wrong place. I got some trans news. It's always fun, isn't it? I got a whole lot of it. Jeez. I got a whole lot of it here. Yeah, I see that, Chris. I was going to tell you that I got a nice email regarding Precision Door MN. Joe, my neighbor, knocked on my door yesterday asking for a garage door service company reference, to which I replied, Precision Door MN, as advertised on Garage Logic with Joe Souchere's endorsement. He mentioned he listened to you occasionally back in the day, but is very pleased with the new door and 1.5 horsepower motor anyway. In other words, in spite of me, the guy liked the service from Precision Door, but he's not a GL fan. He previously indicated his leanings, implying Orange Man bad, 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 Orange Man. The belt drive is really a plus in my view. It runs smoothly and quietly. 2 thumbs up. I will buy the same product when that day comes. So, if I can interpret this, somebody knocked on this guy's door who was a Trump fan, and when my name was mentioned, he must have immediately associated with me with Trump, but he still went ahead and ordered from Precision Door.
That's fine.
And he's happy with the door.
Yep.
We're talking about new doors by Precision Door. They serve Western Wisconsin, the entire metro. They have models of doors for every budget. The consultation is free. They'll send out a designer and you can pick a new door. And if you do, right now they're throwing in the motor. That's a value of over $760. And if I might take a suspicion from this email, it sounds like those aren't chain driven, they're belt driven. Wouldn't that be quieter?
That would be very quiet.
That would really be cool. You can book online at Precision Door MN, one word, precisiondoormn.com, or call Precision Door at 612-263-6985.
It's the end of the world as we know it, and he feels fine. Joe Souchere.
GLers, we're having a party, and you are invited. We're inviting all of you to a big party July 12th. That's a Saturday at Cedar Lake Speedway.
I'm going.
Yeah, Cedar Lake Speedway.
You going, Rook? Yeah, you're going.
Hell yeah.
Just over the border, one of the best dirt tracks in the country, state-of-the-art 3/8 mile high bank clay oval. And it's one of the leading short track facilities. I've been to a lot of them in the Midwest, and down into Iowa and even Missouri, and Cedar Lake Speedway rates as one of the best late models, modified pro stocks, B mods, and sprint cars. We're talking roaring cylinders and the wonderful smell of race gas. If you've never been to a race before, you stand at that start-finish line when that green flag flies, and you're not going to believe it. It shakes you right to the core. It's like being at an AC/DC concert. It's really fun. But here's the deal. We're going to have a show, a quiet part of the show. It starts at noon, and it's going to be a British car show running from noon to right around 5 or 6 o'clock. Absolutely free to the general public and GLers. And all of us, we're all going to be there, including Joe, and hopefully one of his finely crafted fossil fuel British rocket ships.
Not at noon.
Just nod your head.
We're a little early.
We're going to save a spot for Joe and cross our fingers and hope he shows up.
I'm going to be there.
We'd love to see all of you. And you're going to be invited to stick around and hang out. We've got our own little area, tent, and we're going to party. And no cost to you. That's a $25 savings per person. Town council members, you have your own VIP area. So it's going to be a lot of fun. The racing runs till 10 o'clock. You don't have to stay the whole night. But do feel free to join us for this big Garage Logic party, Cedar Lake Speedway, from noon to whenever on Saturday, July 12th.
Did you hear that, Joe?
What?
Kenny says you do not have to stay for the whole race.
But do you have to have your shirt on inside out?
That's been corrected, Matt.
Yeah, we did correct that.
I've corrected it.
We're going to take betting odds, waiting for Joe to show up to see if he shows up with toothpaste on his shirt.
Such paste.
I don't think I will. As a Pride, is June Pride Month?
Yes, sir.
Okay. As a Pride Month celebration, Hiawatha Elementary School in Minneapolis has planned a glow up, get down, rave-style dance party. Okay. The rave-style dance party will feature festival dance outfits, blacklight face paint, and blaring pop music in a darkened gym for kindergartners and elementary school students up to 5th grade. Elementary school principal Mercedes Walker wrote in an email, and this is the only reason I'm bringing this up, "This dance party has been a dream in the making for 2 years, and we are ecstatic that that dream is manifesting." Okay, I know the word dream can be overused. In fact, I really recoil in horror every time I hear some athlete say, "I've dreamed of this." You never dreamed of it. You're lying. But there's better things to dream about, is what I'm saying. You want to have a dream and I know you got to have dreams, but this is what you dreamed about? With separate times for different grades, Walker's email encouraged kids to come dressed in reflective clothing and bring their GLBTQI friends and family. All right. A post on social media quickly went viral and drew sharp criticism about the rave-inspired dance party, and a lot of parents were suggesting that it was inappropriate. Somebody have the horn covered for me?
Yeah.
Here's the deal. Go ahead.
Have you ever had a dream?
No, I don't want that right now. Have you ever? Now you got me trying to say. Have you ever had a dream? A similar event at Hopkins Middle School, a drag karaoke night, was canceled earlier this week after Alpha News published an article about it, because the conventional news gatherers in the Twin Cities either would not cover this or they would cover it favorably. Alpha News reached out to both Hiawatha Elementary and Minneapolis Public Schools for comment, but neither was willing to speak on the matter. Principal Mercedes Walker, she's the one with the dream, referred all media inquiries to the district's communications office, which would have proved useless, and the district pointed questions back to Walker. So the district's communications office, that's costing you $100,000 a year just for the one person. They refuse to talk. They send it back to the Mercedes, the principal with the dream. She refuses to talk. And we learned that Hiawatha school parents are encouraged to contact the school principal or PTO directly with questions about this optional after-school community event. The school principal is Mercedes Walker. So nobody wants to talk about it. Mercedes, this is all B as in B, S as in S. You're nuts. This idea is nuts. Have it for older kids. I don't care. What are 5-year-olds? Why is this for 5? Now you don't have to go. Obviously, it's an after-school event. But what's the what? This is as good a dream as you can come up with for a kid. How about a dream that they can read? How about a dream that they can do math? How about a dream that they understand some rudimentary sense of history? And 5 isn't too young to start learning any of those things. It's way too young to glow up and grow up.
Those are the dreams of an adult, the stuff you just listed. My dream as a child that age was to be sent home early, not to stay for any kind of after-school activity.
My dream was the snow cancellation.
Yes.
Can we just not have to go today?
Yeah. Half day.
I cannot express my distaste for what is happening to public education the closer you get to the country's tallest buildings. Mercedes Walker, her sympathies here are absolutely not unusual the closer you get to the country's tallest buildings. They are insidious, they're pathetic, they're ideological. They have nothing to do with learning what should be learned. It's pathetic. The school system is pathetic.
But we only focus on the bad, Joe. We never focus on the fantastic history teachers that can put passion into history. Or the math teachers that make math absolutely exciting and fun. We only, as a show, we only focus on the negative.
Well, two things. One, you're right. There are some wonderful teachers, and two, I don't think there are enough of them because the test scores, when the test scores count, are dreadful.
Yeah, there's no denying that.
They're just dreadful.
Yeah.
And I would submit to you that one of the reasons the test scores are dreadful is because you have principals of elementary schools whose dreams are of a glow-up, get-down, rave-style dance party. That's not going to pass a test down the line.
As yesterday's positive report card shows, children do learn.
That's right. Children.
I just remember being in high school and debating on whether or not Holden Caulfield was an idiot. And it was a lot of fun, and it got me interested in reading and the way different people interpret the same book. You know what I mean?
I just think he was a spoiled rich kid.
Yeah, I know. And it was a fun argument in high school because a lot of high school kids have that same angst.
Here's Bob has a great point. As the controversy, this is not necessarily unrelated to Mercedes Walker's dreams. As the controversy continues for the trans male pitching on the girls' softball team, that's supposed to happen today. Champlin Park is playing in Mankato, but they could get that tournament rained out, correct?
Well, they already moved the game to 5 o'clock.
Oh, they did?
The Egan Champlin Park game. Yeah.
So this guy will pitch at 5 o'clock. But this fellow was wondering, why aren't their parents stepping up? Number one, isn't there a father willing to go peacefully sit on the mound and refuse to let this continue out of respect for his daughter and all female athletes?
Oh, my God, his daughter would kill him.
Number two, isn't there a high school umpire with a daughter who'd be willing to refuse calling a game under the rules of Title IX? Number three, isn't there a coach willing to lose his coaching position by doing what he knows is right and taking a stand?
There you go.
I don't see how parents can raise their kids and teach them right from wrong, then just passively tolerate this from the bleachers. Well, Bob, you have a wonderful point. I would say the answer is the same answer we've come up with for why we're electing the people we do, because nobody gives a bleep.
That's not true. They do give
Well,
a
of course,
bleep.
some people do.
No, okay, Bob, your theory because I know parents associated with this. They all want to say something, but we all know what will happen if that parent chooses to say something, or if that student chooses to say something,
but Chris,
or that player chooses to do something.
Chris,
we all know that.
Chris, Bob is making the point, though, is somebody needs to make that sacrifice. That's what Bob is saying.
So, okay, and I don't disagree with you, Kenny, but here's the problem. That student or pitcher, opposing player decides to do that, they will be absolutely destroyed on every aspect.
Without a doubt.
Maria, do it today. Make a protest.
Yeah,
Maria.
Rookie's sister is
Come
going to
on,
be
Maria.
at this game.
So
You
is
think
her husband.
you think Maria, her husband, or her daughter is going to say something? Of course not.
Well, here's what I would do.
Maybe Uncle Bart will.
This is an occasion then. Is it Egan?
Yeah.
This is easy for me to say. I don't want to take bread off his table, but this would be an occasion. Well, we don't know how the Egan coach feels about this, but let's say he's opposed to it. This would be an occasion where he just does not allow his team to take the field.
A state tournament game.
Yep.
That these girls have been working their asses off for years to be a part of.
That's not viable, Joe.
Of course, it's not viable. It won't be done, but it would. It's
works
probably
in
what
garage logic.
it probably it probably is what should be done.
I disagree with you.
Well,
No.
then how do
So
you
the-
want to handle
the-
it? Just have this kid win another game
the
with
cat's out
14
of the bag.
strikeouts?
The cat's out of the bag. So you what? It should have been done prior to.
Not in
Shouldn't
this godforsaken state.
Shouldn't it come from the kids, the players, the girls, the team?
Well, if the Egan team feels unified in their opposition to having to face this male, why don't they do something about it? Now, again, easy for me to say. 14-year-old high school kid is probably just a minute, Reavers.
I know. I'm waiting
A
for you to be done.
14-year-old, 15-year-old high school kid is probably hesitant to make a public stand.
Me first, Chris.
Go ahead.
Because, and I just want to reiterate what you said, Reavers. These kids have been waiting for this game their entire junior high and senior high life. This game tonight is what they've been waiting for. They're not going to walk away from it.
Well, I disagree. They haven't been waiting for this.
Yeah, they have.
No, they haven't been waiting to face a 6'4" male pitcher. That's not what they've been waiting for.
I see your point.
They've been waiting to compete against a put together team.
So what should they do then?
Well,
They should walk away?
Well, they could, but
Forfeit?
that's a lot for me to expect from some high school
Joe,
kids.
look at what happened just yesterday. Remember the email you forwarded? I made a one syllable passing comment, and I got destroyed. Imagine being a 17-year-old girl whose entire life is in front of her.
Okay, let's leave it at this. A, this is not what they've been waiting for. B, they will take the field and they'll just have to do their best. Maybe they have hitters on Egan's team who can hit this kid. I don't know.
They're hot right now. Egan is a pretty hot team. Why don't they just play dirty and cheat?
Why not?
GL.
Champlin Park is.
Why don't they have like one of the dads with a full beard get on the mound, grab the ball, and start warming?
Yeah,
That would be funny.
That would be funny.
the Frank Viola of
Yes.
dads.
Yes.
GLers on YouTube agreeing with you, Joe, and not me. Joe says passive tolerance is explicit approval.
Big words.
And Marva says, BS, these girls need to wake up, think of the rest of their lives when they lay down to this BS. Now is the time.
But again, nobody disagrees with that. You're right. There should be somebody, but to put yourself in that position.
Okay, stop right there. Because you're repeating the same thing over and over again. The point is, Chris, probably no one is going to put themselves in that position. So then where are you?
Okay, but again, what are
Then
they,
where are you?
What are they supposed to do, Joe?
Put themselves in that position.
and forfeit everything that the entire team has worked their rear
They
ends
didn't
off
work for this game. They didn't. This
Egan-
wasn't their anticipation.
Egan didn't work their butts off all
not to
season
face
to
this
get in the
kid.
state
Not
tournament.
not to face this kid.
So they're supposed to just not show up? Is that your answer? I'm just saying, Joe. It's
Joe, I'm on his
2025.
side. You can't walk away from it. Have you been to these games? The entire school turns out. The moms, the aunts and uncles, the grandparents.
Okay.
This is a big damn deal.
Okay. And let's say they're defeated 10-2.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. You're gaining traction now. I see where you're going.
What they're going to say, what? They're going to be happy? We gave it our best. We just couldn't beat that guy.
And they're never going to forget about it for the rest of their life. That it was a
the entity you should be going after, in all seriousness,
State High School League.
is the Minnesota State High School League. That's who you
Or
you're-
Keith Ellison or Governor Cockwomble.
Sure, that's your target. It's not the Egan's fast pitch team.
Yeah, but Cockwomble, Ellison, and the State High School League are incompetent buffoons.
Couldn't agree more.
Maybe the coach of Egan isn't.
Couldn't agree more.
Well, I'll leave it there then.
All right.
It's going to take the coach of Egan, or it's going to take Girls United on a team to make a stand, because these idiot authority figures we have will not.
Well, if the Minnesota State High School League had any balls,
They don't.
No pun intended. But if they had, they wouldn't have allowed this to happen in the first place.
Well, of course, but they don't. This is an ideology that is accepted by the educational institution. And that's the rubric this falls under. You got a elementary school teacher who's dreamed of the glow up, get down dance.
Right.
Does it surprise you you're going to face this?
It does not.
It's and the longer it goes without anybody taking a stand, the more prevalent it will become. Because right now it's very faddish to be trans. It's a fad.
Mm-hmm.
And we solved it yesterday. You could be trans. You got to wait till you're 18. That would eliminate this kid pitching for Champlain Park today. He'd have to to play another sport.
How far in advance do you have to register your roster, Chris? Do you know anything about the rules?
For the State High School League?
Couldn't they go to the high school boys baseball team and put a couple of wigs on them?
No,
and maybe throw some.
There is a deadline. I don't know exactly what it is, but each season has its own deadline for
It'd just be
rosters.
fun to see a baseball, high school baseball player, boy, step up to the plate.
Yeah.
I'd love to see the Egan kids hammer the hell out of Champlain Park. It'd be fun if
I'm
they
rooting
upset
for 'em.
them.
I'm rooting for
It'd
'em.
be great. But don't tell me this is the game they dreamt of as little girls. They dreamt of playing other little girls.
I agree.
On the State High School League website, they have a click button celebrating Title IX at 50. So they're celebrating Title. It's too much to go into here. But
Wait, what, Matt?
they have a button
They're celebrating. Wait a minute.
on June.
Why
20
do we even need Title IX?
Well, that's the irony here. I thought it was going to make a statement about this, but you can't even find out who's on the board here. Sports and activities, schools, tourneys. Who are you?
It's Cockwomble, Ellison, and the State High School League. They've all sold out to this BS.
Okay, state board reps. Of course, you're not going to give it to me easily.
I'm gonna help you, Rook. I wouldn't go down that road. We won't win going down that road, because all of those votes and all of that stuff is all private anyway. None of that's public information.
Well, don't think I won't.
I'm just trying to save you,
Okay.
brother. So what I heard you say is this is all Trump's fault.
I didn't say that.
I think that is why Trump got elected.
It is why it is.
It's 100% why
Well,
he
hit
got
the
elected.
button. You got a sounder for
I
it that
threw
took
it-
days to put together.
I threw him a man-thrown fastball.
And that is why Trump got elected.
And Walls is taking. He's the tough guy that's opposed to Trump. He's the tough guy, and he's not throwing any trans child, he says, under the bus. Children shouldn't be trans. If you want to be trans, wait till you're 18. You got to wait till 18 for everything else in this world.
All right then.
The weather's going to clear up, and even the smoke might go away. So we're right back to another weekend of. I would hope you're enjoying your electric bike riding. An electric bike from EcoFun Motorsports in Forest Lake / Columbus, the electric bike capital of the world. They're right on Highway 97, immediately west of 35. And it's not just electric bikes. It's every imaginable form of outdoor recreational equipment. It is really fun. Youth recreational equipment, youth gas-powered ATVs, little ones that the kids can scream around in. They're really fun. and water equipment and motorcycles and scooters and helmets and apparel and side-by-sides. And Tim might even have a Yamaha generator or two left over from the winter. All the stuff at EcoFun is pre-tariff, so you're not paying tariffs on the electric bikes that have been imported. Those Scootstar electric bikes got here before the tariffs hit. There's a great big parking lot at the Forest Lake Columbus location. Pick out your electric bike, take it outside. You'll get help to make it the perfect size, tires, seat, handlebar height, you name it. It'll be perfect when you leave there. It's EcoFun Motorsports in Forest Lake and EcoFun Motorsports in Burnsville on the Service Road of Life near County Road 42, and a great website at ecofunmotorsports.com. Mouse.
Doctor.
Play The Earth Is Not Your
He's
Mother.
got in his
Well, I guess we're
ears.
gonna play that
It's
one.
Joe Souchere, live from Garage Logic.
Hey, just a quick note that the Minnesota State High School League, at their last meeting, approved the request of the Diversity, Equity, Inclusion, and Belonging Committee to be renamed as the Access, Engagement, and Opportunity Committee with a modified description.
That's wonderful.
I don't even know
news.
what that means.
It's wonderful news.
Yeah.
Here's John Haidt.
Nope. Here's Kenny Olson.
Here's Kenny.
Thank you, Kenny.
I am more interested in trying to figure out what Matthew just said. What are they
They're
saying?
just trying to hide the words DEI from
Right.
the Trump
It
administration.
became
Oh,
access,
okay.
enjoyment, and whatever.
All right. You know what?
What do you got?
I'm going to be honest with you. I don't care about that. Not at all. I do care about my lawn because I'm at that age where that's all that matters at this point is my lawn. And if you want the best lawn on the block, like a lot of us do, go to professionalturf.com. They've been doing it up since 1982. If you've already gone with this company, I know what you're thinking. Yeah, I really need to hire somebody to mow my lawn because you're going to be mowing every 5 days. That's a lot, but what a privilege it is to tend to the best lawn on the block. Get to that website, schedule a free in-person lawn care analysis and estimate, professionalturf.com. And whether you're a first-time homeowner just facing the puzzle of lawn care or if you're familiar with the struggle, I promise you, these professionals will make your lawn the envy of your neighbors. We're talking exceptional lawn care, landscape, and irrigation service with ProTurf. Check them out, professionalturf.com.
Here's John Haidt.
Thank you, Joe. This news update brought to you by North American Banking Company. The Minnesota Pollution Control Agency says an air quality alert that's in effect for all of Minnesota has now been extended due to that pollution level caused by wildfire smoke drifting south from Canada. According to the MPCA, that alert will now run through 12 p.m. on Wednesday. In addition, the agency says the air quality alert will reach the maroon color, the worst quality of air possible, in the far northwest counties of Minnesota. That includes East Grand Forks, Roseau, and the Red Lake Tribal Nation. In those areas, the agency says everyone should stay indoors, no matter how healthy you are. The sky and air will appear smoky. You'll be able to smell smoke. If you go outside, you'll likely experience irritation in your eyes, nose, and throat, coughing, shortness of breath, chest tightness, and more. In addition, the MPCA says you could experience serious heart and lung.
What happened to the chunks of soot alert?
Yeah, because this is chunks of soot. And here's what's worse. It's not just smoke. It's wet smoke.
Oh, wet smoke's the worst.
Which, according to you, is worse.
I think so.
John, back up. What
Yes,
did they
sir.
say? They said all people, healthy or
people
not?
Everybody, Kenny.
In
Everybody.
the northwest counties, Kenny, the ones where it's extremely heavy, in the maroon-colored warning,
Yeah.
you shouldn't go outside.
How would a
even
baby handle
Joe,
if you're
it?
healthy.
how far are we away from the government telling us we cannot leave our homes?
Don't even joke about that.
We're not more than a year or two away from that.
I would
Just
say
in general.
I think we might be a little closer.
We might be there now.
Yeah.
I have a novel concept.
Cockwomble would do that in a heartbeat.
The guy that issued that statement has no feet in reality. His feet are not grounded in reality. He doesn't realize that in order for this society to function, we need to be outdoors.
I got a novel concept. How about put out the bleeping fires?
Yeah. This is, I'm blaming Trudeau. What the
188
hell?
of them, Chris.
Yeah.
Okay.
188
And not one thing has changed in about a month.
I'm going to blame the governor of California
I-
just for the heck of it.
Newsom.
Is
His
it
fault.
is
What
it
the
that
heck?
the Canadian fires are too remote to get to?
I don't know.
Well, I wish you did know.
I do like the idea, though. I saw online that Trump's going to impose a 100% tariff on Canada till these fires get
That's right.
taken care of.
And once again, his tariffs are so truly important and effective that now the Pope has been made in America.
We heard that one.
Yeah,
Rox.
that was a good one.
You're just going to keep using that one, aren't you?
If something works for me, I stick with it. John Candy and Splash.
Minnesota BC8.
Oh, he's fired.
God forgive me
Referenced it.
for my
Referenced it.
thoughts.
The Minnesota BCA is investigating a late-night shooting in Paynesville after the city's police department says a man died when shots were fired while officers tried to take him into custody. According to the police, officers were called to the 600 block of Stearns Avenue for a domestic dispute between a man and a woman just after 9 o'clock last night. Multiple agencies responded, including the Stearns County deputies, Cold Spring Police, and Paynesville Police Departments. While the woman was able to get out of the building with what police said were minor injuries, she told police a man was armed with a gun inside. Police eventually went into the house after learning the man was locked in the basement. They then tried to get the man to go to the basement stairs with his hands showing, saying he was being arrested. According to Paynesville police, shots at that point were fired while officers tried to arrest the man. Despite aid being given at the scene, the man died. It's not known if the man died from a self-inflicted gunshot, according to authorities, or if he was fatally shot by law enforcement.
Joe, I got an email here from Brian, a loyal town council member, and his email reads as follows. It's easy to say coaches, players, or parents should protest, but the MSHSL is an awful organization and already said months ago that they weren't cooperating with the Fed's order and are allowing trans kids to play against girls. I have no doubt that a team would be forced to forfeit for non-compliance. I agree with
it's
him.
It's a hill that Cockwomble and the rest of them are willing to die on.
Yep.
Yesterday, what's being called a significant agreement reached in the key budget area of K-12 education funding gave some hope for a special session of the legislature within the next week. However, several budget agreements are slower to come together that are keeping Governor Walz from being able to announce the start of a special session. Representative Cheryl Yoakum, a DFLer from Hopkins, said the bottom line is we were able to keep the stability that indexing the formula to inflation has brought to our schools. However, the following 2 years after this agreement, 2028 and 2029, will see $420 million in cuts from the projected spending for those 2 years under current law. With declining enrollment and so many mandates on school districts, some lawmakers warn the tough decisions still are in the future. Ron Kresha, a Republican from Little Falls, said, I believe this bill is a bit of a canary in the coal mine, and this should be an alert to the schools and future education finance chairs what's coming and how we're going to have to deal with that.
I got it. I got a brainstorm. The parents of girls softball players start a GoFundMe campaign to send their kids to Germany. Go to that castle on the hill where lightning bolts are flashing overhead and juice these kids up so much they come back with Popeye arms and great big legs and great big butts on them. Yeah, and they terrorize those trans pitchers. They just hit it a mile out of the park. That's my idea.
All right.
Okay, good one. Prosecutors have charged 20-year-old Hama Abashirad Saeed with first and second degree assault as well as owning a machine gun in connection to that shooting outside the 3M Arena at Mariucci on Friday.
A machine gun?
Oh, that's nice.
University of Minnesota police responded to the campus around 8 p.m. and witnesses at the scene described hearing gunshots. When police got there, they found a 49-year-old man who had been shot in the head. He was conscious and told police he was standing outside when he heard a group arguing behind him. He heard a gunshot, started to run away with his family when he realized he'd been shot. A second man, previously identified as a 19-year-old, had a gunshot wound to the right leg. Both victims have been discharged from the hospital. Prosecutors say surveillance video captured the shooting and showed several males, including the suspect, running from the area. The video captured the suspect leaving an item in the bushes nearby. Officers there found a Glock 17 handgun. The gun had an automatic conversion kit, also known as a switch, attached. Officers patrolling the area located the person matching the description, later identified as Saeed, and arrested him. Police say they haven't determined if Saeed was inside the graduation ceremony before that shooting happened.
Mary will have him back out in a week or two. It'll be fine.
Hey, we got to go to the graduation. Yeah, hold on. I got to grab my machine gun.
And my bulletproof vest.
Yeah. Wow.
Meanwhile, yesterday, the Minnesota Department of Health said 2 more cases of measles have been recorded, bringing the total of 4 cases so far this year. The bad part they're saying about this one is apparently a child was infectious while at the Mall of America theme park on May 24th. Because of that, MDH is giving a warning to anyone who is at Nickelodeon Universe on that date, May 24th, between the hours of 5 to 9 p.m., that they may have been exposed to measles and they should watch for symptoms.
That was a Saturday. It was a week ago this past Saturday.
Okay.
Did you go? Were you on any rides with?
No, but I knew of a little one who was there, and I looked up, but she wasn't there on that date.
Got it.
According to Minnesota,
Of course, learning that, he, of course, thinks the worst possible thing can happen.
Of course
and he
I did.
races to go.
Yeah.
According to Minnesota Department of Health data outlining how many kindergarten students are fully vaccinated for measles here. Back in 2015, about 93% of kids were vaccinated. That has dropped 10 years after to 86%, according to MDH.
I have a measles question, John.
Yes, sir.
I think I was vaccinated as a kid. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
I probably
I'm sure
did.
you were.
Yes.
Now, is that still good?
I think isn't it a lifelong thing?
I hope so, because I ain't getting another
And the
one.
thing you want to get is chicken pox after you get the shot, right? Because you're covered for the good.
Whatever. I probably had that too.
Yeah.
That, I think my question was answered. Thank you.
Yeah,
Did you get the shingles shot, Joe?
I did. Both of them.
both of them? Yeah.
When do you have to get that? I didn't get that yet.
You got to get that when you get
old.
shingles.
Matthew, my uncle has it right now. You need to get that shot.
Yes.
You don't want
Yeah.
shingles.
I don't want
Get it,
shingles.
get it
I don't want
today.
shingles.
My brother.
Why did
had it.
shingles become a thing? All of a sudden, I was told I got to get a shingle shot.
Why are you looking at me?
It's your fault.
Chris? Yeah, Chris.
I don't know.
You brought it from
Seriously,
some
Reavers.
rural area.
What the hell, dude?
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Let's hear from Chris about something besides shingles.
Kenny,
shall
I
we?
apologize to your uncle for giving him shingles.
Yeah, well, he's not happy with you.
I bet he's not.
I think you itch a lot.
Those are painful. I do.
Oh,
know
no, it's serious pain. It's not just itch.
All right.
Thanks for that good-looking sports medical.
Hofferman Water in Connecticut.
You're going to need a lot of water.
You're
if
going
you
to need
get
a bath.
shingles.
You're going to want to take a nice
No,
bath.
you're going to want to drink a lot of. You want to be hydrated.
Stay hydrated this time of the year. Hofferman Water and Connecticut, an independent water treatment dealer. They offer sales, service, and rental options for Connecticut water treatment systems. That includes water softeners, iron, rust, and odor filtration systems, and of course, drinking water systems. And that's because a new system from Connecticut can do so many things that other water softeners just simply cannot do. It's going to cut down on your salt usage, but it's also, in fact, that reminds me, I got to get salt today. It's also going to protect your appliances because bad water can affect almost every single aspect of your home. I'm not kidding. It's not a joke. You get that new system from Connecticut and Hofferman Water, and your showers are better. Your laundry is better, and so, of course, is your drinking water. So please get in touch with my friends at Hofferman Water today. I had my system installed years ago, and it has made an amazing difference in the quality of my water. But the first step is you got to get on that schedule and have them come out for that free water analysis. You can do that one of two ways. Call them directly at 612-895-2440 or visit HoffermanWater.com. And when you go on that website, you can see every single water treatment system that they have to offer. Again, it's HoffermanWater.com or 612-895-2440. Hofferman Water has been proudly serving the state of Minnesota for over 50 years. Please do me a favor and mention that you heard about them on the Garage Logic podcast.
I ain't got a thing.
Oh, yeah. Here's a guy that ain't got a thing. Joe Souchere.
I know what he does have. He's got a good garage floor. And I really want to stress out, if you've got that graduation party coming or any event, that's going to really up your garage game. And I want you to get in touch with Innovative Garage Flooring. Strong warranty. They do commercial, industrial, residential. They've been doing this for over 3 decades. They got a large selection of product lines and floor systems to choose from. Go to their website, or better yet, go to their place in Blaine. I do like that blue color that we're featuring here on Garage Logic. That's what I had when I had mine redone, and it transformed
That was
the
blue to you?
garage. Yeah, that was blue.
Wasn't it black and silver?
No, there was blue, Chris.
Oh, I didn't see the blue. Okay. Maybe
You're
I'm
colorblind.
I mean, I
think
might
so.
be.
But it really is. It transforms it, and the way they do it, they work quick, and they, of course, want to make sure that you know that you heard it on Garage Logic, so please let them know. When you call 763-291-0910, 763-291-0910, they do it all for businesses, commercial, residential, and they've got a lot of stuff to choose from. So make sure that when you get in touch with them or go online to innovativegaragebflooring.com that you do it and let them know that the Rook sent you.
Thank you, Rook. In national and international news, wrangling over the president's budget bill that narrowly passed the House last week continues. President Trump lashing out this morning at Senator Rand Paul, a Republican from Kentucky. Paul is against the bill. President Trump called Paul's ideas, quote, actually crazy. Paul had said the math doesn't really add up in the bill during an appearance on CBS News Face the Nation on Sunday. He said one of the things this big and beautiful bill has, it's a vehicle for increasing spending for the military and the border. It's about $320 billion in new spending. Now, the bill is expected to have a tough time getting through the Senate as written. For his part, President Trump says he wants the bill on his desk to be signed into law by the 4th of July. He says he's pushing the slow-rolling Senate to make it happen sooner rather than later. The president met with Senate Minority Leader John Thune at the White House yesterday and has been dialing senators for one-on-one chats. Late last week and over the weekend, some Republican House members met with constituents who weren't angry about the budget part of the bill, but they were angry about a provision that seeks to limit the ability of courts, including the U.S. Supreme Court, from enforcing their orders. Representative Mike Flood, a Republican from Nebraska who voted for the over 1,000-page bill, told constituents he had no idea that provision was in the bill, said he doesn't support it. As part of the same comments, the GOP lawmaker says he'll tell his Republican colleagues the party can't support undermining the court system, despite the fact that they put the provision into legislation and despite the fact that Flood had already voted for it. Mohammed Sabri Salman bought flowers and disguised himself as a gardener in an orange vest so he could get as close as possible to members of that Jewish group in Boulder, Colorado, before he attacked them with incendiary devices, according to authorities. On his back, Solomon wore a commercial-grade weed sprayer full of gasoline that he intended to use as a makeshift blowtorch to burn himself to death, he told investigators. Part of the plan he developed, as you heard Joe say, in secret over the course of a year. Solomon brought 18 homemade Molotov cocktails with him into the crowded Pearl Street pedestrian mall, but he threw just 2 of them because he told officials he got scared. A Homeland Security spokesperson said Solomon, an Egyptian citizen, applied for asylum in September 2022 and overstayed his U.S. tourist visa in February 2023. He told authorities he lived in Kuwait for 17 years before he moved to Colorado. Some other immigration news locally. The Star Tribune reporting more than 24 law enforcement agents, including ICE, FBI, police, and ATF agents, converged on a South Minneapolis Mexican restaurant today. Department of Homeland Security truck was on the scene, according to Jason Chavez, our favorite Minneapolis City Council member, who added that the Minneapolis Police Department helped with closing off parts of Lake Street. The Minneapolis Police Department posted on its X account it was not involved in any immigration enforcement effort, but that its officers were on hand for crowd control. Italy's Mount Etna, Europe's tallest volcano, erupted Monday, causing tourists to run to seek safety.
You guys see the video?
Yep.
All I kept thinking was, which one of us 5 would be last? If we were
We'd
visiting Italy.
We'd all be pushing each other down.
I would have rolled down the hill, I think.
Several videos online showed people fleeing as smoke and ash billowed from the side of the volcano. Mount Etna, located on Sicily, joins Hawaii's Kilauea volcano as one of the 47 volcanoes actively erupting this year. According to a Facebook post by Italy's National Institute of Geophysics and Volcanology, the eruption was probably produced by the collapse of material from the northern side of the southeast crater.
Well, you can't tell me that they didn't have some idea.
Well, all the cynics are saying this happens once a month with Etna.
Then what is the tourist bureau letting them up there for?
Thin the herd. Damn tourists.
Damn tourists.
Screw 'em.
A cloud of Saharan dust about the size of the continental U.S. is
This
expected
is a good one, John.
to reach the U.S. Gulf Coast midweek after it traveled more than 5,000 miles across the Atlantic from North Africa. The event is considered the biggest of its kind this year and marks the start of what's called the annual dust plume season, a natural phenomenon in which wind and tropical waves blow dry, dusty air from the Sahara Desert westward across the Atlantic Ocean between April and October. The massive dust cloud, known as the Saharan Air Layer, hangs between 5,000 and 20,000 feet above the Earth's surface and can suppress storm and hurricane formation by making the air less moist.
Good.
The dust has reached the Caribbean and Puerto Rico so far. It's expected to thin out by the time it reaches Florida, Louisiana, Alabama, and Mississippi, although affected areas will see reduced visibility, hazy orange or reddish skies, and diminished air quality. The plume's U.S. arrival is expected to last into this upcoming weekend.
So we're not blaming you-know-what for this.
No, this is every year, apparently.
Yeah.
This happens
Did you
to
mention
some
that
degree.
this calms down tropical storms?
Yes,
Or-
you did
You did
mention
mention that? I was so busy reading the story. I've never heard of this. Have you guys
I have heard
this?
of it, yeah. It's an
Yeah.
annual dust
It's
event.
fascinating.
In an entertainment
It's
slash...
wait, I stepped on you. Did you say something clever there?
No, I just said it's an annual event.
Oh, I thought you said it's an annual dust up.
No.
No, nothing clever.
that
from
would have
you.
been a good
Okay.
line.
That would have been a good
Yeah,
line,
that
Joe.
would've been
You
great.
should have done that. Maybe. You want to do it? Try it again?
It's
Have
an
you heard
annual-
of this before,
Have you ever heard
Joe?
of this?
Yeah, it's an annual dust up.
Good one, Joe.
Good one, buddy.
In an entertainment slash podcast news note, Mark Maron's WTF is ending after 16 years.
Really?
Yeah. Maron announced the news on his Monday show, saying it's nice to be able to end things on our own terms.
Who's he?
He says he and his producing partner.
Jesus.
He's a big deal.
Maybe you turn your mic off.
Well, who is he? I've never heard of him.
Joe, you want
Joe.
some figures here? Here, let me give this to Joe. WTF has remained the top most streamed and downloaded podcast since it launched on September 1st, 2009. There's about 2,000 episodes and more than 55 million listens per year to the podcast.
What's his name?
Mark Maron, he was a comedian. He is a comedian.
Well,
He's
sorry,
an
I didn't
extreme
know that.
lefty, by the way. Extreme lefty. He's interviewed all sorts of actors, comedians, Robin Williams, Keith Richards, Nicole Kidman, former President Barack Obama.
Let's
on
start
and
doing
on and
that.
on.
Well, he's only had 2,000 podcasts. We're already at 1,555.
What do you mean start doing that? Like have Robert Williams on?
Well, I know we can't have him on, but
How about the 55
Comedians.
million listens a year? Are we up to
That's
that
pretty
yet?
impressive.
magicians.
Maron won't
How
be
about a mime?
Yes,
Have a
we've
mime
done
on?
that.
Oh, mine.
Michael the Mime.
We did have one at the fair.
Michael the
which
Mime.
made
He's
a
no
lot
longer
of
with
sense
us.
for radio to have a mime on.
He was in an audio box.
Maron won't be bored. He has a new Apple show with Owen Wilson called Stick, releasing on Wednesday, and a documentary focused on him called Are We Good that follows the podcaster, comedian, actor as he deals with the loss of his partner, Lynn Shelton. She died in 2020 from leukemia. Maron is working on a new comedy special for HBO set to release this year. It's already been filmed. It was filmed in May in New York City and should be released later on. in
Is
the
he
fall.
funny?
I like him, but
he's
a lot
all
of
right.
people-
He's very angsty. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was Air America. Was that what he was?
No, I've never known that. No,
I don't think so. Was
think so.
WTF was launched in September 2009 following the cancellation of Maron's Air America terrestrial radio program.
All right.
Okay,
You got
so
me.
yeah.
Did they
I
even
had
have
no idea.
podcasts in 2009?
Sure.
Sure. His was one of the first.
Joe.
See, that's why he's one of the
Yeah.
pioneers of podcasting.
Well, I'll be
Joe.
dipped.
I saw a clip of him the other day telling a great story where he and Kinnison were out partying. God, it was funny. Funny as hell.
You're kind of doing the thing where people will run into you and say, "Boy, I really miss your show." Mm-hmm. That's kind of what you're doing right now.
Yeah, you really are.
Give me your phone.
I see that at least once a week online.
I stopped
I used
doing
to
that.
love Joe on
I
the
stopped
radio.
doing that. I'm not. I don't care anymore. You
you
either figure it
partake-
out by now or the hell with you.
Do you partake in any podcasts?
Yes, this one.
No, as in listening to.
Oh, I do. Sure.
Like
Sure.
Victor
I
Davis?
haven't listened to him for ages, but yes, I
Hanson.
liked him. Yeah.
You like the Prager one? Don't you like him?
I often have them referred to me, and I listen to whatever people tell me to listen to.
Gotcha.
Any of them stick out in your memory?
No.
Anything you really like, you look forward to?
No. That's the
Right.
truth. That's a truthful answer. No.
No, I understand that. Yeah.
Except for Kenny, your show and mine. Other than that, right?
I try, but I cannot get myself hooked on any one podcast.
That's my problem. I mean, a lot of people have referred me to some of these ones that examine murder cases.
Sure.
Yeah.
I'm not interested.
Yeah.
I don't care.
I did like the one that our friends at WTOP did. I did listen to that, and I thought it was really good, but I don't know how people can listen to that every single day.
Guys, it would be fun to assign a new podcast to Joe every day, just to sample. I would love to hear your opinion about a comedian's podcast. His name is Theo Vaughn,
I've heard of him.
and I would love to hear. Just give him 30 minutes.
Well,
sometime.
why don't you send me the link and I'll give you a report
Well,
tomorrow.
you know how Google works, right?
I'm not looking it up. You send me the link, I'll listen to it and give you a report
I
tomorrow.
guess it'll never happen then, because I'm
It's
not
hard.
here to babysit you.
It's hard to get involved in podcasts because there's a great music one where a guy just picks a song and he does 2 hours on the whole genesis of the song. Fascinating as hell, but I listened to 2 of them and it was kind of like, this is too long. I
So
can't do
so
this.
after 2, you realize what the third one would be like,
Yeah.
right?
What?
Well,
After listening to 2, you realize what the third one would
right.
be like.
Yeah,
Right.
and if I was 25 or 30, I'd probably listen. But at this point in my life, I'd rather just go listen to music. than
We have
listen
we
to
have a
podcasts.
guy that does the UFO podcast,
Yeah.
WTOP
Yep.
guy.
Yep.
Yeah. I've listened to that.
We also have a family that would gather around.
That's no longer
and
exists, so
they-
you
a
can't
lifestyle
promote
show.
Go
that.
back and listen to them.
No, that's
People do.
You know, I did listen to that one time, Rook.
Thank you, John. You're the guy.
For me, listening to podcasts, it's more fun to hear how they do the job as opposed to what they're talking, about. Yeah, I'm fascinated by the way people do the job.
I've listened to Rogan's podcast. I've listened to Brett Weinstein.
Yeah.
I'm aware. I'm aware.
If I have any sort of insomnia at all, I turn on Brett and Heather. Instant sleep.
It sounds like they're doing a bit.
It really
public
does.
radio bit.
It really does. And you need to have the dictionary right there in your lap because they like using those big words.
You'd have to look up cockwomble.
Rook, there you go. You could start the Bleep That Word podcast.
Yes. I got another big word sent in today.
Every episode could be about a different
Yeah,
word.
big different word.
BDW.
All right, then.
Oh, thanks, John.
Yeah, is that it then?
I might as well be.
All right.
Hey, let's
Look at
welcome
the
back.
time.
Let's
God
welcome back
almighty.
some friends. Are you guys ready to welcome back some friends?
Yeah.
Guess who I'm talking about right now, ladies and gentlemen?
I don't know.
We Are Nuts is back.
Nuts!
We Are Nuts is back.
Oh, those are so good.
Here in the heart of Garage Logic, we've always celebrated the kind of no-nonsense quality
When
craftsmanship
did the Nuts guys come back?
today that Minnesota is known for, and that's exactly what you get with We Are Nuts. It's a family-owned company that's been roasting the freshest, most flavorful nuts that you've ever had right here in Minnesota, and they do it the right way. Small batch, high quality, nothing artificial. Whether you're snacking, entertaining, or gifting, We Are Nuts delivers that same tried and true satisfaction that we Minnesotans and GLers expect. And you can taste the care in every handful of this hometown flavor at its finest. And I got to tell you, they sent some... they sent some stuff for me.
Wait a minute.
He's a thief, man.
I can bring some in for you. Most of them have already been
He's already
consumed.
been there. That means everybody stuck their hand in.
Right.
them.
You're actually going to
come
have to
on.
go over to We Are Nuts and buy some for the staff.
For the
Yeah,
staff.
right.
The you can see the jar there. The toffee peanuts are so
Oh,
addicting.
Yeah, I like the hot ones.
They are so addicting, and the savory wasabi snack mix is really good. But anyway,
I used to be able to name all their nuts.
quit naming nuts, Joe Souchere.
Hazelnut, peanut.
But it's a Minnesota product, and you know what?
Yep.
Excuse me.
Choking
okay.
on that.
Wow.
But go to their website, wearenutsmn.com, and you can search them up, and you can also order their stuff online. And you know what? Visit them or find their stuff at any of the local retailers, including our buddies at Fratelloni's Hardware and Garden Stores. So, wearenutsmn.com. We'd like to welcome them back right here into Garage Logic.
Oh, this was working a minute ago. Shoot. Never
That's what
mind.
she said.
That's got to be fixed.
It's time to play Love at a Hardware Store.
Is somebody doing something?
You are.
Okay, can you guys smell rain coming? Can you, anyone, staff?
Yes, sure.
Yeah.
All right.
Didn't we do that?
That suggests, now, if you can smell rain coming, you share 6 traits. Let's
number one.
Hey now. Thank you.
Let's go to the big board.
All right.
Coming in at number 6.
Well, the first thing apparently we all share is a heightened sense of smell.
Oh, okay.
Right? And this is very long. I'll just read the highlights. We also pay close attention to the environment.
Interesting.
We notice how the air feels or how the sky looks.
Yes.
Can I just pause a second and give GLers a wonderful tip on days like this when the air is full of smoke?
Yeah.
These are tire burning days, my friends.
Don't draw any attention.
Right.
You've got a stack of
You're under
tires
the
you need to
radar?
get rid of days like today. Go ahead.
We
Joe.
cultivate empathy. Empathy often grows in people who are highly observant and sensitive.
I would
See,
agree.
we 5 of us are pretty good.
Yeah,
Huh?
that's to the T.
Well, I don't know if it's to the T, but
Maybe not you.
We appreciate mindful moments. Mindful moments.
I mean, like holding a baby for the first time, or
stuff
cuddling in front of a backyard fire.
Something like that, I guess. Yeah.
Or making whoopee in the Taco John bathroom.
The truth
Whatever
is,
it
if you
takes.
can smell rain before it arrives, there's a good chance you're practicing mindfulness without even knowing it. You're in the moment, tuned in to that second when the air changes. Being mindful means you're not lost in the regrets of yesterday or the worries of tomorrow. You're here, fully present with your senses and thoughts. Yeah. 5, we trust our inner signals. People who detect incoming rain trust themselves. They believe in the signals their body sends them.
I think it's just gas.
Yeah.
Number 5.
That was
There it
that
is.
was 5.
How do you spell Jose?
Here's number 6. Number 6.
Yes.
We find awe in everyday life. People who pick up the subtle signals, including the possibility of rain, tend to carry a sense of wonder in daily life. That would be me. I see life's little details, like how the sky transforms from bright blue
Wonder. I
to a
wonder what's
subtle
gonna happen
shade
when I
of
run out
gray,
money.
or how the wind feels slightly cooler just before a downpour. We cherish those details.
Yeah, this one I think I'm.
We might get excited finding a new flavor of tea, or discovering a quirky coffee shop. We appreciate many moments. We like to maintain childlike curiosity, which can make ordinary days feel rich with
I
potential.
thought there was only 6.
This is under awe in everyday life.
Oh,
Curiosity and wonder don't just make life more interesting. They keep you receptive to growth.
I think it's hysterical that you think that you're one of these people.
Oh, this is me. This is...
Everything you've read so far is the opposite of you.
I have to beg to differ.
We were all thinking it, but Kenny said it.
I love mindful moments and
Yeah.
the sky.
at, jackass? Get over here.
Only because they come to us all the
I
way.
can't tell you how many times I've heard him say BFD, loser.
Give me a boy's name that starts with the letter H.
Jose.
good answer.
Only because they come to us all the way from Eden Prairie, Minnesota, the temporary stopping point for the traveling Lymans, who are usually in Africa. It's on this day.
Man, June 3rd already.
Well, on this day in 1836, Charles Nathaniel Hewitt was born in Vermont. He led the state legislature to create the State Board of Health in 1872, making Minnesota the first state to do so. Dr. Hewitt died in 1910. On this day,
On June 3rd.
in 1839, 47 soldiers at Fort Snelling were confined to a guardhouse for violating orders about visiting the saloon of Henry Menck near modern Fort Road and Munster Avenue in St. Paul.
I know where Munster is.
So do I.
Fort Road. is
That
where-
and Menck, this Menck fellow must have preceded Pig's Eye Perrant,
right.
because he operated a saloon at the fort too. Then he got kicked out.
I
Remember?
remember.
Any relative to our guy, the mink?
No, this is MENK.
Oh, sorry.
On this day,
June 3rd.
in 1859, logs driven by floodwaters knocked down the second and third bridges built over the Mississippi River in Minneapolis. The first, the Father Louis Hennepin Suspension Bridge, remained standing. On this day,
On June 3rd.
in 1916, 49 miners on the Mesabi Iron Range walked off the job at the start of a massive strike coordinated by the ethically diverse rank and file with help from experienced organizers from the industrial workers of the world. Scab workers undermined the strike, and the strikers conceded defeat after 3.5 months. However, by December, Oliver Iron Mining Company, a subsidiary of U.S. Steel, compromised with pay increases and other small reforms. The company maintained its anti-union stance until 1943. On this day,
On June 3rd.
there was a day, a very chilly day like this. In 1990, Soviet President Mikhail Gorbachev spent a few hours with Rudy Perpich in the Twin Cities.
I remember that day. It was
I
a
do
cold,
too.
rainy day.
It was.
Yes.
Did you smell it?
I did
smelled
because
the
I'm
rain.
sensitive.
Got it.
Yeah,
And didn't the collective we of the Twin Cities fall in love with his wife?
yeah
I
she
seem
was
to
a,
remember her being a big deal.
she was a hottie.
Risa, something
Risa.
like
Raisa
Risa?
Gorbachev.
And finally, on this day,
Just for the record, I don't remember that.
okay,
June 3rd.
and finally on this day,
June 3rd.
1999, Duluth's Ed Hammer was the first double amputee to reach the top of Mount McKinley, 20,320 feet. He had lost his legs to frostbite after a plane crash on that mountain in 1981. And on this day,
Wait a minute. You don't get to go by that without more of an
that's all I have on it.
Well, how'd he get up there? He didn't walk on his hands.
Dude carried him in his backpack?
I don't know.
Maybe he
Well,
had
you-
artificial limbs.
Why don't you
Being
look it
carried
up?
doesn't count.
Why don't you look it up?
Well,
It's
'cause I had-
Ed Hammer, Hommer.
Okay, Hammer, let me just tell you this. We lost Gorbachev in 2022. He was 91. We lost Raisa in 99, so he lived 23 years
Oh,
without her.
And I'm looking at photos. I don't know what you guys are infatuated
Did not
about.
remarry.
Could you look up Ed Hammer? He was
No,
the,
Chris, not everything has to be about sex.
Well, that's what you guys were referring to.
No, she's
Oh.
just a lovely, wonderful grandma type auntie mama.
Oh, okay. I
type-
thought you
yeah.
meant the other way. Okay, I'm
No,
sorry. I apologize.
gee whiz,
I
Chris.
apologize.
But I wouldn't pass it up.
Well, he's dead, I can tell you that.
Thanks for the setup, buddy.
Amputee loses life during ascent of Rainier.
never mind, man.
He was, I got it. He got it. Ed lost the lower part of both legs to frostbite. He didn't let the accident stop him. Fitted with prosthesis,
Okay.
Ed became the first double amputee to receive a medical certification to fly commercial airliners and went back to Mount McKinley in 1999.
Purchased
That is badass.
at Paul's Prothesis Palace.
Right.
That's right.
But in 2022, he died at 46 years of age.
I see.
He was struck by a rock.
Oh,
while ascending.
2002, I got rooked, not 2022.
What about his wife?
boy, oh boy.
Was he 46?
September, yes.
Oh,
September
How does his wife
24th,
look?
2000.
What happened to his stumpies?
you want sports disappointment on this day?
couldn't
I
run
don't
away.
know why these are disappointments. June 3rd. No, you do that part.
Right.
What day?
June 3rd.
1947. Ben Berger bought the Detroit Gems. Sid Hartman delivered the check.
What did the Detroit Gems become?
Obviously, the Lakers.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, the other way around. Okay, he delivered the check.
On this day,
June 3rd.
1982, the Twins got a day off after a losing streak.
Oh, that's really nice.
Boy, I'll tell you what.
Yeah,
That's a
you're really
highlight.
scraping the barrel
And
there.
finally, on this
Hot
day,
take.
June 3rd.
1984, Bill Mahoney was hired by the North Stars. That's it for that. For
He
this.
didn't last long.
I don't think so.
Oh,
Thank you, GLers,
Yes.
yes, of course.
for sharing these small moments of awe and wonder.
Please do us a favor if you haven't
Pleasure.
done so already. You could join the 15,000 subscribers on the Garage Logic YouTube channel where you can watch the show each and every single day. And
What I gotta do?
you can also interact with the show live as we're doing the show. We start it right around noon, and you can find us. Just search Garage Logic. That's 2 words on YouTube. And you can follow us along on all of our social media channels, which includes Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And just search for Garage Logic there as well. And sign up for the Daily Logician. That email comes right to your inbox each and every single day, and it includes the most recent episode of the podcast. You can find out more and sign up right now at the website, which is, of course, garagelogic.com.